Hi. Sorry. Okay, so what we learned yesterday, we learned the method of substitution to solve the linear system. Today we're going to learn the method of elimination. Okay, so again, what does the word elimination mean? To get rid of, right? So how many variables do you have in each equation? So if you're looking at the equation, how many variables do you have? How many letters do you have? 2, x and y, right? So basically you're gonna eliminate or get rid of one of the letters, okay? So to do that, first thing you wanna do, so in this case, and you can do that by adding or subtracting the two equations. Okay, so to do so, what you need to do first, you need to line up the two equations under each other. You want to make sure that your x values are under each other, the y values are under each other, the equal signs are under each other, and the number is under each other. Okay? So if I'm looking at this, I have 3x minus 4y equals 14, and I have 3x plus 7y equals negative 8. To line them up, I write them on top of each other, so 3x minus 4y equals to 14, and 3x plus 7y equals to negative 8. Are you okay with that so far? Now, you're going to look at the letters and then you're going to decide which letter has the same coefficient in both equations. So which letter has the same coefficient, x or y? X. X has a 3 in front of it for both equations, right? So the easier one to get rid of then is the x. I have 3x in both of them. So what do I need to do to get rid of the 3x? Do I add them or do I subtract? Do I do 3x plus 3x to get 0x, or do I get 3x minus 3x? Subtract. So, if I subtract here, what do I get? 3x minus 3x is 0x, and this is why I'm doing this, to get a 0 letter. Okay? Now, let's look at the negative 4y. So this is 0x. Technically, I don't have to write it, but I'm going to write it this time. Then I have negative 4y minus 7y. So what's negative 4y minus 7y? So I have negative 4, take away 7. Negative 11, negative 11y, right? Do you know why I'm doing minus 7? Let's look at this. Negative 4, the negative comes before the 4. Yeah? This one, I have a negative here, and I have a positive. What's a negative times a positive? Negative. And that's why we're doing negative 4 minus 7. So that minus is going to have to happen for all the terms in the second equation. Okay? Then I have 14 minus negative 8. I'm going to write it right here. 14 minus negative 8. So what's minus and negative? Positive. So that's 14 plus 8, which is 22. Okay? So that equals to 22. So, you see what happened here? Technically, that 0x I do not have to include because it's a 0. The 0 doesn't have to be there. So I have only one letter left. And the process is called elimination. That means getting rid of one of the letters. And I already did. Now, after I do that, I want to solve for that letter. So what do I do to solve for y? So how do I do that? Divided by -11. So divide both sides by -11, right? So that means it's going to be 22 divided by -11, which is -2. Remember that when I'm doing elimination, I'm looking for that point of intersection, right? What I'm doing here is I'm looking, when do these two lines, the 3x minus 4y equals 14 and 3x plus 7y equals -8, are equal to each other. They're intersecting, right? So I'm looking for the POI, and the POI has what values? What's the first value for the POI? It's x and y, right? I'm looking for the values x and y. So far I found which one? Y. I need to find x. To find x, I need to plug in that y into either equations, doesn't matter which one, and solve for x. Okay? Usually you pick the easier one. In this case, there's no easier one. They're both equally the same. So, I plug in -2 into which one do you want to pick? First one? Second one? Okay. So let's pick the second one. 3x plus 7. Instead of y, you know what I'm going to write this whole thing. Instead of y, what am I going to replace it with? -2 equals -8. So 3x plus 7 times -2 equals -8. What's 7 times -2? What's 7 times -2? What's 7 times 2? -14. Now, what do I have to do to isolate for x, or to solve for x? What's the first thing I want to do? So how do I do that?
Divide it by itself.
Before I divide it by itself, what do I have to do? Move the -14 to the other side. Okay, I have to do it right here. So first thing is I want to move the -14 to the other side, and it becomes positive 14. So that's going to be 6. Now what do I do?
Now you divide by itself.
Now divide by 3, right? To get 2. So if you see right now, I have my POI, right? My POI is 2 and -2. Okay? Let me just recap quickly what happened. First thing I had to do is I had to line up the two equations under each other. Now I have to look at the variable, at the letter that has the same number in front of it. So in this case, x, both x's have a 3 in front of it. Okay, so this is the one I want to eliminate. I have to either choose addition or subtraction. If it has the same number, not the opposite sign, so if it's both of them are positive, then I have to subtract. If one is positive, the other one's negative, then I add. Okay? As long as they have the same sign, I'm going to subtract. If they have different signs, I can add. Okay? So I do that, and that eliminates the x values. Then I have to subtract the other terms from each other, so I can isolate and solve for the variable that's left. Are you guys okay with this? After I solve for the first variable, then I plug it back into one of the equations to solve for the other variable. Are we good with that? All right. Now we're going to have to check. When I want to check, what am I doing? When you see the word check your work. That's right, left side, right side. So plug it back into your equation, into both equations, and check the left side, right side. So remember that my POI x was 2, y was negative 2. So I'm going to replace x with a 2 and y with a negative 2. Three times 2 is 6. What happens with negative 4 times negative 2? Becomes positive 8, right? 4 times 2 is 8. What's 6 plus 8? Okay, is it equal to negative 14 or equal to 14? Equal to 14. So 14 equals to 14. That proves to me that left side equals to 30. Okay? I have to do the same thing for the other equation. So, the other equation is 3x plus 7y equals negative 8. 3 times 2 plus 7 times negative 2 equals negative 8. 3 times 2 is 6, minus 14 equals negative 8. 6 take away 14. Negative 8. Right? That's very good. Which means my solution is going to be correct. And my POI is 2 and negative 2. The checking part is not always mandatory. If you want to do the checking part, it's just for you to make sure that your answer is correct. Okay? Sometimes the question asks you to check, but sometimes the question doesn't ask you. You don't have to do it. It's just for your own sake. Are we okay with this? Okay. So you have the second question, which is this one. Do you want me to? I'll get back. Okay. So now you're gonna do exactly the same thing, but with this equation. Actually, we'll do it together. Hand it back.